I salute to everybody. Um, so it's been a year since you last seen us together recording. Uh, I want to send a big salute out to Lawrence RBE. There's a lot going on in the world, and I respected the fact that on multiple occasions he's reached out just to check on me and check on us as a union, asked about everybody, see how everybody was doing. Called me not just to talk about battle rap. We actually didn't talk shit, just a real minimal thing about battle rap. So I just appreciate that in the culture because not only does people not really give a fuck about anybody on a personal level, but for a league owner, you know how that is. Leagues and media / bloggers, however you want to put, don't normally, you know what I'm saying? They don't have that much of a relationship unless you kiss their ass.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody knows that we don't kiss nobody's ass. So I just thought it was dope to have a league owner who salute the ARP too, because I don't know if you saw it, but he forgot you, but then I think Paru Pancakes threw you in the mix. But he had,
That's fine though, because I'm not active like that anyways.
yeah, but I don't think he meant it that way. I don't think he meant, what I mean? But he was. I thought it was dope that ARP was just tweeting out just the media, and some of the media who we actually saluted don't necessarily be having good shit to say about him on RBE. So that's why I respected it even more, because it was like, But again, I just thought it was dope for both of them to do what they were doing. And you could tell, at least from my side, you could tell it's not like something they discussed. Like, ARP was just tweeting, and then like a few days before that, I had gotten a call from Lawrence. And then, again, days later, I get another call from Lawrence, and he was just checking. So just salute to them. And I can't, of course, I'm not going to say shit, but bottom line is they are working on something. So, you got to respect what they've been doing during this whole pandemic, you know what I'm saying? And now they got something else in the works, so salute to them.
Yeah, you could always count on him to be working on something.
But what we're here to talk about is the URL Ultimate Madness 2 tournament that's supposed to be taking place on Saturday. I have to be honest, I haven't seen, but then again, to be fair, I've been crazy busy. But when I do have my opportunities, I'm looking online, I'm looking on YouTube, looking on everything. And I'm not seeing much promotion, not just from the battlers, or from the league either. So am I just missing shit, Visual, or what are you seeing?
I mean, I see some stuff, but sometimes I'm heavy like all day on in the mix, and then some days I'm just not. So I don't know. I could be missing shit.
Yeah.
I know KOTD's working on some stuff.
Yeah, I know they were working on like a barbershop series that they want to go, I guess, city to city to do, which I think is a dope idea. It's something I tend to go back to that blog that I did about a year ago now, where I just was saying how battle rap was better off traveling from state to state. They did that, and that's dope. Even though they're kind of stagnant now in like just really Atlanta and like South Carolina or pretty much the DMV, South Carolina area. That's really where you're only seeing them. But I felt the same way just about battle rap in general. I felt female battle rap in the ring, all of them. I felt they are better off traveling everywhere. Of course, they're native like New York, and of course for KOTD, it's really California or Canada. But I just think that everybody's better off doing that, touching different markets. You know what I'm saying? And to me, it only grows the fan base. So, if King of the Night is really gonna do the series really based on moving everywhere, that'll be dope. And in fact, depending what they be willing to do, I wouldn't mind sponsoring one battle. There is a battle I would like. There's actually two battles I would like to see, but one I'm pretty sure I financially can afford. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Maybe I got to reach out to King of the Dot, see what they think about that one.
Well, the traveling thing's a little tough in this day and age with everything going on. When you just speak of traveling in general, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, ideally, I agree with you, but it's a little touchy right now.
No, yeah, no, you're 100% right on that. I didn't mean it like that. That's why I said I did that blog a year ago. You know what I'm saying? Saying that they should do it, and then we saw them doing it. We saw everybody going to London. We saw them California, Florida. That's what I meant. I know right now it's not the, but for King of the Dot, I don't think that what they're trying to do, I don't think it's like having whole event. You know what I'm saying? I think I said traveling, but I think pretty much what they're doing is they're probably only gonna have, maybe hire some people to film a battle here and then. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they're actually gonna have a group of people traveling everywhere. I just think they're probably gonna do something like in, regions. Maybe have 2 or 3 battles held in New York. Have somebody from New York filming. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Because right now traveling in general is a bitch, and even more so, we saw what happened with the URL. I knew that was gonna happen when they were doing that whole shit to announce the second tournament. I was like, yo, there's no way you're gonna have all them people in the same fucking building, and then all them dudes chilling in the parking lot, think no one was gonna get the virus. And salute, I've been praying for, and this is real talk. I've been praying for John, praying for Don Marino, praying for Av. I see Av is doing better. He's out the hospital. Salute to those guys. But I just didn't understand why it was so necessary to have all them people in that one place. To announce that tournament when you could just have everybody on the Zoom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But again, back to the King of the Dot thing. I don't think that they're gonna do like a whole event in a barbershop. I just think they're probably gonna set up some battles here and there. Maybe, at least I would think the smart thing to do is probably have somebody local, film those. Because it's not like you're gonna have a big stage performance. These are all gonna be small room battles.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, if they want to do one in the southern region, maybe they should hit you up.
You think the South is getting oversaturated? Because it seems like what was it, like the past year or two is just everything's done in Atlanta and
Yeah.
Florida has.
It's of course it is. Of course it is. See, here's the thing. And this came from we interviewed Lawrence. I've heard ARP on other interviews too, where they've been upfront and saying it's just a lot cheaper. It's cheaper to do it in the South, and then in terms of traveling, it's cheaper too because where Atlanta is at, when you look at the different directions people are coming from, it is more expensive to have people travel so much further to get to New York than for everybody to kind of meet in the middle, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you think of all these other places, Virginia, all these other places, remember, they're not doing it in the heart of their cities. They're doing it like in an outlying town or, you know what I'm saying? So that, for New York, for a place that might cost you for 8 hours, might cost you $1,500 to throw an event there, they're probably doing that shit way less than. They probably paying $400 to $500 for a big fucking warehouse that they can have all day for everybody. You know what I'm saying? So, I understand the cost efficiency. Plus, from what I've been told, I don't know how true it is, a lot of the URL sponsors for their last year or two, a lot of the people who are helping fund some of these shit, they're based down south. I don't know how true it is, but supposedly I've heard about them having some, I'm pretty sure everybody heard about, know what Rap A Lot and Jay Prince and all those guys. I remember, I think it was Gnome 9 or Gnome 8. They had him on the stage. Supposedly those guys had a hope sponsor to get that big gnome that happened in Texas. So I'm pretty sure, again, I'm not saying that my information is accurate. I've never spoke on it with anybody. I don't know that. I'm just saying if what I'm hearing is true, it makes sense. Cheaper to do it somewhere else, plus you got some guys who are sponsoring. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, New York's kind of been abandoned though.
Yeah, which I think is a horrible idea. I think it's horrible. But I also understand one thing is that your options are limited when it comes to New York because we still got to remember that whole Troy Ave Taxstone situation, which wasn't the only situation, but it was the one that went way too far. And then there was a lot of venues who just don't want anything to do with hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Which is unfortunate, because hip hop isn't the only fucking genre where someone gets swung on or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But you know how we're looked at in general. You know what I'm saying? So then put that together with a situation where someone dies and a few other people get shot. Rest in peace to Banga, and prayers for all other people who were victims of that situation. But when you think about all of that, that's why a lot of these big venues weren't trying to hear it, and a lot of these leagues aren't trying to pay the guys the numbers that they're paying them to put them somewhere where there only fits 100 people. You know what I'm saying?
A sign of the times, though, too. I think New York is just kind of falling apart in every aspect.
Maybe. All right, let's get to this tournament. Ultimate Madness 2. I have not seen any judges been announced. Did you?
No, I saw something that they were gonna announce the judges or something of that manner in the last URL prime time on Caffeine, but everybody was tuned into the Snoop Dogg versus DMX. So I heard nothing of it. I think everybody just blew it off to watch the versus battle.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah, I've yet to watch one of those battles. I kind of don't think I'm ever gonna watch one of them. But
the last one
I
was
heard last night's was pretty good.
yeah. I'm not too big of a fan of nowadays of Snoop, so I couldn't tell you.
They look old as hell, but I thought it was dope. The clips that I saw on Twitter, they just remind me of just OGs from the block, man. DMX still look like he'll slap the shit out you.
They don't look old. They is old.
Huh?
They don't look old. They are old.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, especially DMX, all that he's been through. He looked even older than what he probably is. You know what I'm saying? Like the way he was moving and all that. I was like, yo, man, DMX is probably maybe 45, maybe pushing 50. He looks older than that.
That old, but they look run down. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's the lifestyle too, man. Smoking, drinking, partying. But I was happy to see from the clips that I saw, they just looked like they were having a great time. And I thought that was just dope.
Yeah, I didn't see any of it.
Yeah, we don't know the judges for the tournament. I suggested that we have a mixture of battle rappers who are not in any battle rap group. I would say, personally, I would think maybe one female battle rapper, one male veteran, two vets. I'm thinking you should get somebody from overseas, maybe a or one of those kind of guys, Shadi Horror, to be a judge, just to get a whole different perspective. And then maybe one person for media. That was just the way I looked at the situation. And then, of course, the fan vote, or maybe a legit, because some people, I don't know, but people have issues with the fan voting. So far, what I've seen in the fan vote, I didn't really think they had it wrong. I can't remember a situation where it was like drastically wrong. I might have disagreed with the fan vote, but not by much. But other than that, that's the way I think they should handle the voting. Again, I understand people are gonna say whatever they're gonna say, but that last tournament, the judges that we had were bad, man. I'm sorry, bad. Did they have moments that they were right on point with everything? Yeah, but for the most part, man, especially when somebody says the fact that they like plants and shit like that, like, come on.
No, Jay,
How does plants? What was the thing? What she said? It was plants or something else, and it was like, I think it was plants and food or some shit.
It had nothing pertaining to what we had just witnessed. So that was
But that's what she said though, because he was dressed like a. Hold on one second. Yeah. What can I do for you? No, I'm good, thank you.
I'm not gonna edit this out.
I'm good, thank you. So yeah, man.
I mean, we can debate on all day on our perspectives of who should judge.
How would you set the panel?
Well, I mean, there's so many different ways and perspectives you can go about judges. As far as artists, media, it would all make sense one way or another. Whoever you're never gonna get it right. I think this first time around, with the people that have so much of a problem with the judges that we had, I'm not mad at it too much because it's the alpha version. You know, it's the first time around. You're gonna get that back adjust. So I thought the judges weren't horrible. We could deal with it. Like it was fine.
But you know what though? I can see what you're saying, and I'm not telling you you're wrong. I just think sometimes, I don't think that. Well, you know, I'll speak for myself. I don't think that I necessarily had a problem with a lot of their decisions. I think it's more the reasoning, if that makes any sense. Like, you know, for you to tell me you thought this guy won, and the majority of us feel like he won, and then your reason is because he fucking rapped about plants, and you love plants. You understand what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
then, what was the shit? Because then later on, Knowledge, when they talked to Knowledge about the swamp in New Jersey Twerk, and he was like, Twerk won. And everybody like, what the fuck? And then later on, he apologized for that because you know that he's trying to save a relationship. Listen, if me and you are really friends outside of just battle rap, and I feel like I get more than an interview with you, like me and you actually hang out and all of that, me telling you that you lost when you know you were up there choking, you understand what I'm saying? Like, I shouldn't have to worry that my relationship with you is on the line when you know you was just choking, and I'm gonna sit here and say you lost. You know you fucking lost. You understand what I'm saying? So sometimes it's not just about what your decision was. I still think they had a few things wrong. A few people went home that shouldn't have went home.
But Jay,
But I think it was the reasoning behind it was more my issue.
when you have 4 judges, you have 3 live judges, main judges, and then you have the audience vote, which counts for an overall vote. The more important ones are the 3 judges that are sitting there or watching
Yeah.
main priority vote. So, despite her talking about the plants and how it related to her, at least it resonated with her, which is at the end of the day, in what they're doing, that kind of a scenario is what you're aiming at to sway that judge's opinion, that judge's vote. But no matter what, what the battlers were talking about, it has to resonate with the judges at that given time. Playing back on the footage doesn't matter. It may not fucking resonate. It may not even fucking matter. They could be talking about something completely different. But as long as you sway that judge's decision, that's the only one that counts because there's a lot of money on it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's the purpose of having judges, is to get an absolute answer.
So no matter
so you're right.
it targeted her, obviously, because it made her think about plants and like it worked. So even though it was complete garbage, at least it worked for her and it got her point, her score. You know, it got her vote. So I mean, you can debate this for hours, but whatever. You know, we're not the judges, so what can you do?
I agree. So I said maybe a veteran male judge, battle rapper, a female battle rapper who's a veteran. I said someone from overseas, right? So maybe that, and then we got the fan vote. So maybe that other person should be someone like maybe a Sarah Connor or Poison Pen or a Lush, which I don't see that. You understand? Like maybe one of those people who was like part of, who's been part of direct. You know what I'm saying? Someone who's just been part of this culture for a long time, whose opinion does count. Maybe we use them as a judge. But that's just my opinion, and
That would make a sense. But are they gonna go outside of their circle of comfortability with, if that's even worth?
No, I mean that's what I said. That's what I said. This is just my opinion. How I think. You know, if I was picking the judges, this is the formula I would use. I mean, we already know how they do things. If you ain't someone who they really tight with or ain't been kissing their ass, it's not gonna happen. But you know, I think that anything I just said is just based on how I would handle it. You know what I mean? That's just me. Let's get into this. Let's get into this bracket though. Let's start on the left side. You have the bracket in front of you, because I don't.
Yeah, we got the Saga versus Hamzi.
Who's Hamzi?
Hamzi the God.
I don't know who Hamzi is.
He's okay. He's the one that was wearing the cha-cha outfit.
His name is Holmesy the God.
Whatever.
Holmesy.
I call him the cha-cha.
Holmesy the God versus the Saga. Listen, go ahead.
What league is he from? He's from We Go Harder, right? Or is it?
No, well, I don't know, but I mostly seen him. I know he's associated with Gates of the Garden.
Oh yeah, that's it. He's a hot boy.
He might be part of We Go Hard. I don't remember at this moment. Pause on that, but I don't remember. But I know in current times he's
a hot boy.
Huh?
A loud boy.
Yeah.
I said he's a hot boy.
That should sound crazy too, that loud boy shit. But yeah, he's one of those dudes. And then he became a Goonie, and then I don't know what the fuck happened there. But here's the thing. I'm not one of them people who disrespect Holmesy. I know people have. When you listen to the majority of people in battle rap, they don't think too highly of Holmesy. But I tend to disagree. Do I think he's consistent enough? I'm gonna lean towards no. If we're talking consistency here, I'm gonna go with the Saga. If we're talking about skills here, I think Holmesy is good. I don't think he's better than the Saga. No. And if I'm gonna look at momentum, I'm gonna say Saga should walk away with this battle clearly, because yeah, he just fucked up versus Mike P, but prior to that, he had been on fire. And if you really look at it, even last year, he was doing his thing. So I don't know if you want to look at Saga's last, let's just say last 5 battles compared to Holmesy's last 5 battles. I think we have a clear difference here. So with that, I'm gonna say the Mike P performance is only gonna make it worse for Holmesy, because I feel like the Saga knows he fucked up badly, and he's gonna try to take it out on him. So with that said, I really think I wouldn't be surprised if Saga, I'm not saying a body, but a gentleman's 30. I wouldn't be surprised if a gentleman's 30.
I agree with that. I think they're levels apart. I think they're tiers apart. If you would have said Saga maybe 3 years ago or more, I would have said that this was a fair battle. Talent-wise, I think Saga's been on a nasty run. I don't know what was that against Mike P. He just dropped the ball. I don't know whether that was preparation, nervousness. You know, sometimes you get that shot and you fold. But I think level-wise, the Saga is just 1 or 2 tiers above what Holmesy can bring. Holmesy's dope. You know, he does his thing, but as far as substance, I don't think he can match the Saga. So coming out of that Mike P loss, he's gonna have something to prove here, and he's gonna show out. So I would agree with the gentleman's 30. I think he's gonna do his thing.
So we're on the same page on that one. What's next on that side of that bracket?
Louise versus Emerson Kennedy. Now, mind you, this was the one, this got swapped up because Meyers set to battle Emerson, and it got switched because they had battled just recently, which I completely understand, and I salute them for switching that, because when that happened, when he picked the cards and they announced that, first of all, this shit was sketchy, all right?
I disagree, but go ahead.
These are the last 2 battlers, and they were both on Zoom, and they're both from the West, and it just didn't make sense. It was a catastrophe in my eyes. I was like, oh no, like.
But to me, it was completely random. Them guys are picking it in front of your face. You can't say that they did that on purpose.
Nah, but you threw on your tinfoil hat real quick. You know, it was mighty strange.
I think it just happened that way. I mean, we were watching it. We were watching it unfold. And then here's the other thing. If it was done on purpose and there was some sort of behind the scenes fuckery about it, they wouldn't change that shit. Because people, you and I'm just saying, like the supporters of the culture, didn't make a big deal about these rematches. It was the actual battle rappers who came on and was like, look, you know what I'm saying? And then they swapped it out. But at the end of the day, we saw it happen. How can anybody think it's a conspiracy theory when you're watching it with your own eyes? These guys were randomly picking shit. It just happened that way.
Yeah, I agree. You know, you do put on that tinfoil hat, but at the end of the day, you could see how it was clearly coincidental. So
Yeah.
you can't
But
go.
what's your you take the lead on this one? What you got?
Well, I think the switch was warranted and it makes complete sense, and I totally agree with it. I was happy that it happened. I was hoping that they would switch it as soon as it happened. I'm like, yeah, I gotta switch this. This is first of all, Emerson and Danny just had a fire battle on the roof, so I didn't want to see. It's exhausting when you see matches because they're going. You know how much more material you're gonna develop for each other. At this,
Especially that close, and the
yeah,
battle just
yeah,
happened.
that's
You know
happened.
what I mean?
So I was glad.
This wasn't like a Tay Rock Charlie Clips where there was like years in between, and you know what I mean?
Now, these battles are announced. When does this start? When does the official tournament start?
It's supposed to start Saturday.
Saturday. Okay, so how many weeks does that give them? Was it 3 weeks so far or a month?
I think it was a month.
Louise has,
Yeah, because it was a month because it was they had 2 weeks when they announced it. It was 2 weeks till Nome, and then from Nome they had 2 weeks because that's what Mike P and somebody else was saying because they were on Nome. And they were like, yo, they got 2 weeks after Nome to prepare for their battle. So altogether, it was a month. Everyone knew what their battle was for a month, but the guys who swapped out, they had 3 weeks.
so Louise always has this unfortunate time of preparation, which he's always taking battles on a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks prep. So and this is one of his complaints, is like, oh yeah, I want to criticize this, but we never have time to write, and you guys get months, and we're always under pressure, and that's completely understandable. Like he should be getting a decent battle with enough time to prep, because speaking about Guizi, is that he drops the ball a lot of times. You get a lot of choking from him. Like almost every battle you see Guizi and he's fucking choking. And yes, that can be contributed to the lack of preparation and lack of time that they're giving him to get shit together for his battles. So the shit and this is still like not a lot of time. This is 3 weeks. So we're still having this issue. Now that being said, is this the right format for Gluezy, knowing that you usually get like 2 weeks of preparation between the battles? With that track record, you're going to see a choke. You get a CPR rating that's going to be higher than normal because of lack of preparation time. So I'm predicting that Gluezy is going to choke in these battles. I don't think he's going to make it past Emerson. I think Emerson's pen is incredible. He's one of the top guys as far. He's very intelligent. I got Emerson clearly getting glue, if not by default because of choking, because of glue choking, but and content-wise as well.
You might have changed my mind. Honestly speaking, because of his charisma and things of this nature, I was leaning towards Louise. I feel like Emerson Kennedy is a very talented guy. I have a few issues with his style, but I will watch an Emerson Kennedy battle. In terms, I think Glue's overall style, I think is better for a tournament. And the reason why is what we spoke about before we started talking about these battles. I think Glue has a chance of making an impression on 3 different judges. I'm just saying 3 for right now. But I think he has a chance of having a better impression on 3 different judges than Emerson Kennedy does. I think that 3 judges could, and I'm talking about, because Glue could come with the back-to-back punches. He could come with the comedy. You understand? I just think that he checks off more boxes than Emerson Kennedy does. So that's why I was leaning towards Glue. But when you brought up the choking thing, which you're right, and I forgot about, that kind of changes things, because if we're gonna go with consistency, it's hard not to go with Emerson Kennedy in this situation. Damn, you made some great points, and you definitely changed my mind, made it more difficult. But you know what, man? I think the things you said were just on point. So I am switching my pickup, and I'm gonna go with Emerson Kennedy as well.
Now, to be fair, we haven't seen Emerson in this kind of format where he has to be more. I would say, well, yeah, I would say dumb it down just a tad, because you're in shorter rounds for one, so you have to compact and get your material, a lot quicker out. But you also have to make an impact on the judges and on the audience in front of you. You can't overcomplicate things, and you can't. Great pen is only great for the reader that understands it, right?
Yeah, I mean, my main issue that's been with Emerson Kennedy, again, you hit it on the nail, is sometimes I think, just like a Lux and a few other guys, I feel like they're better off compressing some of the stuff they do. It's almost like they need time to work up a little bit, right? My biggest problem overall with his style is sometimes he thought something he said was hotter than what it is, and he expects a reaction. It doesn't seem to really throw off it don't seem to throw him off his game. But for me, it just kind of has like these awkward moments for me where I'm like, and again, this is a judged battle. All that shit might really sway the judge the other way. Like, fam, you looking for a reaction. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. Like, that's the thing. Compressing his material a bit more to fit a 2-minute round thing. So, yeah, I agree with you. But you can't ignore that choking shit, man. You can't, man. That's the part that's bothering me, because my heart is telling me that I should go with Glue. I just think, like I said, Glue's just I think checks way more boxes, but it's something to be said for someone who is a wordsmith like EK, and someone who I don't think I've ever seen EK choke or stumble. Maybe I've seen him stumble. I don't think I've ever seen him stumble.
I also think he's intelligent enough to understand that and adjust. I still got EK though.
Yeah. Nah. Like I said, you brought up some great things, changed my opinion. So, yeah, I got EK as well. What we got next on that same side of the bracket?
Up next, we got Danny Meyers versus Reaper Bell.
Danny Meyers versus Reaper Bell. I'm gonna go first on this one. I like Reaper Bell. I like the whole thing he does with painting his face and all that. To me, I just think it makes him stand out more than everybody else. And if there's anything that we talk about that bothers us in battle rap, is people who sound like everybody else, who does what everybody else do. So the face painting shit, to me, I actually like, because it just makes him stand out that much more, and it makes you want to know who the hell is this dude, and does he rap that good that he's out here doing this shit with his face? Do I think crazy highly of Reaper Bell? No, I do think he's good. But unfortunately, look who he's going against. I think anybody, including Emerson Kennedy, would have all kind of problems with Danny Meyers. That's just, I don't understand. I don't think there's anyone in this tournament who can clearly beat Danny Meyers. No one in this tournament. I don't see that. Who can clearly beat Danny Meyers. Can he lose to any of these guys? Yes. Clearly, I doubt it. And with that being said, Reaper Bell, I'm really hoping that that people actually give Reaper Bell a chance, because I know that Danny's a well more known name, and this culture tends to go a bit with popularity often. But I gotta say, I got Danny Meyers taking this again, a gentleman's 30. That's my opinion. I can see a scenario where Reaper get around. It's just it's not likely, man. And I think if we're looking at who has a chance here of winning this battle, clearly, eh, like you can't go against Danny. Again, Danny's. If we look at his last 5 battles, I don't like his performance against Paz, but that was a once in a lifetime thing. Like, you saw him choke one time. Well, I ain't see it, but he's even admitted that he choked against Stewie, and then he did very bad against Paz. What are the odds that's gonna happen in this tournament, let alone the first round? I'm going with Danny, gentleman's 30.
Okay. To me, this is a mirror match. I think Reaper, at some point, not always, but at some point, he rapped a lot like Danny Meyers. He picked up a lot of Danny Meyers' style. Pretty much battling the master, apprentice versus Jay. There was a battle some time ago, maybe 2-3 years ago, where Reaper Rell did really good, but it sounded just like I was listening to Danny. Every bar, cadence, the way he structures his, it sounded like a Danny Meyers round, and to the point where I thought, is writing for Reaper, because Reaper was starting to get exposure at this point, and I'm talking like a few years ago. And I wrote in the comments of the battle, like, Reaper has a bar god, sounds just like the bar god, Danny Meyers. And Reaper responded to that comment. And he said, aha, bar god flow. He said something of that manner, but I remember that shit. And ever since then, I've always paid attention to that Reaper, very much similar to Danny. So that's why I say it's a mirror match. And this is everything. Bars, cadence, delivery, approach, like everything. It was just like a Danny Meyers round. That being said, Danny is clearly the pick for this battle. To take away anything for Reaper, because Reaper is dope. I do think he has potential in this tournament, not just for Danny, but in this tournament. But we're talking about Danny Meyers. Danny Meyers is the pick to win this tournament, my pick to win this tournament. So it's funky, man. I got Danny, but Danny also tends to disappoint when the pressure's on and he needs to prove a point. A lot of battles where we wanted to, like, Danny to clearly beat that person, like, you got to get him out of here, and he kind of like didn't really do that to the full. Like, we always said, oh, that wasn't the best.
Name him. Give me one battle you talking about besides Paz.
Rex.
You're freezing up on my screen, Vigil. I don't know if you noticed that.
I see it frozen. Can you hear me?
Yeah, so you were saying that Danny doesn't show up in pressure situations. I need to hear this shit.
I mean, I can't think of like too many battles off the top of my head, but it seems like always like Pass. You said Pass, right? Pass was one of them.
And he gave an excuse which made me even more mad. Oh, I just battled last night. I don't give a fuck. You Danny Meyers, and you know better than that.
There just seems to be like there's some battles where you just want him to rip his opponent to shreds, and he just falls short of it. You almost say, oh, that wasn't the best Danny. But it's like battles where they're more low profile. He seems to go off and like fuck his opponent up. So that's all I'm saying. When it counts, I need you to deliver. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I can agree with what you're saying, except for that last part. Like to say, when it counts, I need you to deliver. It's like saying he's not. You're saying he might not like meet or exceed the expectation to a degree. But when you say I need you to show up, that's almost like saying he's fucking horrible every time it matters. And that part I would disagree with.
Yeah. Sometimes I think I give him more credit, like to where I want him to go in a little harder, like pause a little, like longer. Like, you look at the disaster battle, he did great.
Yeah.
Arguably have him winning, right?
I had him winning in a very close battle.
But his rounds were a lot shorter. Sometimes, like, you're battling disaster. Maybe you can give us a little bit more material so it balances out, because this is going to go far beyond the fucking time limit you give him. So that's all I'm saying. Just going. I know in the tournament there's going to be restrictions and actual time limits. You're not going to be able to do that shit.
Yeah, and I think that's gonna favor. In terms of this first round, I feel like that's gonna favor him.
Yeah, I mean, I got.
The truth of the matter is, I have to look at the whole bracket, like really sit down and look at the whole bracket again. But I believe when I looked at it initially, I think I had Danny taking the whole tournament. But I gotta take another look at that again before I definitively say that, because I know we have Loso in there and Mike P, who's fucking incredible. But like, if you're asking me right this second, I think Danny will take the whole tournament. But again, we got to talk about the first round before we can talk about anything else.
Yeah, I mean, I got Danny, the vet, clearly going to the second round here.
Yeah. So we in agreement on that. Who's what on that same side? Who's next?
Tink the Demon versus Franchise.
This to me is a difficult battle. Matter of fact, you go first. Go first.
All right, it's Tink's return. We haven't seen too much of him. We know what he brought to the table when he was active. Can this resonate on this style of a tournament? Yes, it can. It's very straightforward. And it's his return. Everybody wants to see him back and see what he does, see if he's changed anything, see if battle rap has surely changed since he was last year. This shit's changed a lot in the past couple of years. So it's interesting to see what he's going to come with. Is he going to be the same Tink that we remember him? Or is he going to adjust? Is he watching battles to keep track of what's going on nowadays? Try to adapt to that. Who knows? That's something interesting to see. This is the match in this side of the bracket where I'm unsure who might win. I don't have a clear choice here. When you look at Franchise, he does seem to be like a one-trick pony. As far as his style and what he does, I'm not really too impressed anytime that I see him. I know he's gotten a lot of respect during his time with the URL. But I don't give him that much credit. Maybe I should, I don't know, but I just don't, because a lot of his rounds, even though people might think they're fire, I think he only really comes with one fire round out of the three for most cases in most of his battles. And I'm not too impressed with the rest. So he's gonna have to show it. He's good at compacting stuff. He's a puncher. So he does work well with this format. If I think anybody between him and Tink, I think Franchise has more of a chance to win style-wise, because he can deliver a lot within those 2 minutes. And he doesn't stretch his shit out. He's very to the point, but he is also a one-trick pony. He does kind of get stagnant in that sense. Tink has a higher ceiling, I think, with what you might expect to see from him. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure who would win this battle. You know, you have an unknown versus somebody that's potentially can have this in the bag. So, what's your take on it, bro?
I need you to pick one though. It's a tournament. You gotta pick one. You gotta fucking pick one.
I mean, logically, I would say franchise because he's more of a sure bet.
Now,
But I'm not counting Tink out. I think Tink has the potential to impress me.
I agree wholeheartedly with everything you said. I would on any day, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, but on any day I would rather watch a Tink battle than I would a franchise battle for all the reasons you said. I think me and you are like spot on our opinions of franchise. The other thing I would add about franchise is I think he cares too much of what everybody says. Now, had this been a battle on the stage, I would take Tink if this was a regular battle. But being that this is a tournament and the 2 minutes is the time limit, I'm going with franchise. For all the reasons you already said, I don't need to sit here and say all the things you said. I think you were spot on with it. I think personally I understand the situation and what was on the line, but I wouldn't have wanted this to be Tink's return battle. Because Tink is paused, but he's long-winded, stuff like that. Again, I would rather watch Tink battle, but in this particular matchup, franchise style is, of course, this is a pick 'em. This can really go either way. We don't have much in terms of recent Tink to go off, because there was no recent Tink.
Mm-hmm.
But just going off what we know, this is a tournament, and there is a definitive winner or loser of this, no matter what we think. And for that reason, I gotta say franchise.
Yeah, I mean, from what I remember, I think in this kind of format, Tink can probably pull off one haymaker, maybe two, but he is very long-winded. And getting to that point, it better be a good one because franchise can have a few.
Gotta be a great one.
Franchise can have a few of those things in there because he's a consistent puncher. And I say franchise needs to pay closer attention and to his surroundings and the kind of environment this is, because like the Enes battle showed me that he doesn't have critical thinking when it comes to his opponents. And I'll say that because I'll explain that. Because when he battled Enes and I had Enes winning, is that although franchise was dope, but he was betting on Enes talking about his soccer background, and a lot of like two of his rounds were kind of crafted around that. And if you pay closer attention to his opponent, like Enes doesn't get personal like that. He just comes to rap. So he wasted those rounds. He
was trying to play defense.
Yeah, too much, to where he lost sight of who he was battling and what that battler brings to the table. So he needs to pay attention to things like that a little more.
But what you saying goes with what I said in terms of, I think he cares too much of what people say. I have yet to watch an interview where I don't get that fucking impression from this dude. Like where he wants to convince people so much that he's a street guy, and he wants to convince people so much he's a URL guy, and he wants to convince everybody so much that he deserves. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like your fan. Like, why do you really focus on that shit?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, go up there and try to win the fucking battle. Stop worrying so much about what people are saying, because people are not going to shut up either way. It doesn't fucking matter. You got to go up there, and that goes to all battle rappers. You got to go up there and be the best you. I haven't watched that Enes battle, and again, like I said, sometimes I have a hard time watching a franchise battle. One of my favorite battles is him and A-War. That if I ever had to point anybody to a franchise battle, I will point them in that direction. But other than that, it's like, yo, fam, come on, man. But again, in this situation, I just think that it's gonna favor him tremendously for this first round.
Yeah.
What else we got on that side of the bracket?
That's the side. That's the 4 battles on that end.
All right. So on the other side, what we got?
So on top, we have Nunn versus Loso.
Go ahead, set it over.
Loso has been stepping up. He just whooped JC's ass.
Whooped his ass.
He shows that hunger, but also does Nunn. Nunn's last showing, I think, I've only seen one battle. I think he's since his return, and he did fucking great. He like reinvented himself. So everybody's counting out Nunn. When I first saw this announcement, I was like, oh man, Loso's gonna wash him. But I had to think about it and say, you know what? Nunn has very, very much improved. He is aware of what's going on. He is taking everything into consideration and adjusting and altering his style to something that works, that really, really works. And I was very impressed by Nunn's last battle that I saw. I still don't think it's a match for Loso. Loso is just really, really fucking good. So I clearly have Loso winning, but I don't count Nunn on that. I think he's going to do really well because he's been showing that he can do really well, and we might see a surprise here.
So I'm one of them people who've been talking up for Nunn since I can't remember. I've always spoke so highly of him. I think he was so dope. I think he's also one of them people who sometimes get in his own head thinking about too much about what other people are saying. I have not seen his return battle, but I know what it is that, made me a supporter of his. And he does have them. He can have incredible, not just round, he can have an incredible battle, man. And I think he's one of them guys who are that really flies under the radar. I'm hoping that he's taking this Loso battle as motivation instead of, again, letting all the hype get in his fucking head and he's thinking, like, yo, no, fam, you got a shot at every battle you win. You just got to take that shot. I understand another thing that's affecting him in battles is his personal life. It's having a big effect on him. In this situation, it's a tournament for $25,000. There is no tomorrow. You show up or you don't. The problem is your first round, you're going up against a fucking killer. And you're going against a killer who's on a high right now. I'm going with Loso, but I'm going with Loso 2-1 because I really do think Nunn can get around.
I do too. I think he can actually win. I'm not counting him out, but I still got Loso. Yeah, I don't know. That's a tricky one, but I am not counting Nunn out. I'm not.
I agree.
Next on the list, we have Mr. Wavy versus Steams.
Now, I like this battle. I'm a little more biased in terms of the overall of what this battle could be. I really think when we sit here and look at the battles that we talked about so far, this might be the best matchup. These are both We Go Hard alumni. Honestly speaking, Wavy's another guy who I think sometimes just has these incredible fucking moments. And, if you sit here and watch him, sometimes you just want the consistency from him. I do think he can do that in 2-minute rounds. Then you got Steams, who I think is underrated overall. And Steams is another guy who I think you put him up against anybody and he has a chance of winning any fucking battle. That's just how I view the situation. At the end of the day, this is one of the battles that you can literally spend your whole day trying to figure out who's going to win this. and there's no clear way, in my opinion. And I really think that if we're looking at Saturday, or we're looking at this matchup, this could be in the top two, potentially be in the top two of the best battles on the whole fucking card. With that being said, I gotta pick one guy, and this just it's not clear. There's no clear way, but I'm gonna go with Steams because again, I think that Steams, the 2-minute format, I think would favor Steams more than it would Wavy.
I agree with what you're saying, but I also got to say that Mr. Wavy, when it counts, he shows up. When we count him out, he shows up and he surprises everybody. And I think that's what made Mr. Wavy, and that's why respect is put on his name, because you can call him trash. I see a lot of people saying Mr. Wavy's trash, but you know what?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I see it in the.
Yeah, I definitely see people downplay him. So I and in this culture, when people downplay you, they for sure there's some people who are gonna call you trash. So I don't doubt what you're saying. I'm just kind of shocked that people would go as far as say trash.
Yeah, one of his biggest moments was K-Shine. Nobody expected him to be K-Shine, and now that's debatable because people went back and said, I like, Wavy had moments, but K-Shine material overall was better, even though K-Shine was trying to rush through his round. But you see Wavy versus Twerk, nobody thought Mr. Wavy was beating Twerk, and he fucking got Twerk out of here. Steams, another puncher. He can condense a lot of shit into those 2-minute rounds. He has more potential of getting more points on the cards for the judges. I'm gonna oppose your prediction here and say Mr. Wavy's gonna keep this one, because I think he can turn up when he needs to. All respect to Steams. I think Steams can clearly win this battle, but on odds, just being a gambling man for this one, I'm gonna go with Mr. Wavy for the upset.
Yeah, like I said, this is definitely one of those that you can lean either way, to be honest.
Brooklyn.
Yeah. What's next on the list?
Mike P versus Ryder.
I think this could be a real good battle. I think that Ryder's one of them he's one of them battles that people tend to write off quickly. I have to be honest, I don't think he could beat Mike P. I don't. I honestly think, again, I think this sort of situation, if we were to see Ryder versus Mike P on a stage where, the time is loose, you know what I'm saying? And there's more of a crowd, I think Ryder has a better chance in that situation. But I'm not saying that to diss Ryder. I'm saying that to hype up Mike P. Because I think Mike P is just incredible, and I think people are just starting to take notice. I think people are starting to see that he isn't just okay. He isn't just good. Mike P can be fucking great. You know what I'm saying? So, again, it might sound that way. I'm not trying to shit on Ryder. I like Ryder. I like watching. I'll watch a Ryder battle. I'm not going to run to go watch, but I'll watch it. I do think that people do talk a little down on him unnecessarily, because people have this thing about the way that Ryder looks. And I guess it goes into believability, and maybe that's what fucks with people so much. But when I put that to the side and I'm talking about the ability to rap and having dope fucking bars, Ryder is good. I just don't think he's as good as Mike P. And I got Mike P taking this 2-1.
See, in these shorter rounds, Mike P, I find that his best material comes from personal material. And that's not always going to play well, especially depending on the judges. You don't know who's going to be up there judging. I don't know if that's, but there may be backstories or stuff that the judges aren't really familiar with, or even the fans, if it goes back far enough, like if he goes back into history far enough, that's not really going to resonate well, or even like for the fans to catch on And I think that's one of Mike P's strengths. He's really good at that, dissecting you, making you look bad. And he's really good at Ryder. He's really commanding up there. He's puts a lot of passion into what he does. You know, that makes him good. That's what makes what into him because of um, how he puts it out, right? Um, I haven't gave Ryder all the that much credit. Let me you shut this. I'm getting a phone call. 1 second. Sorry about that. I think Ryder has the ability to turn up here, and I'm actually going for Ryder to win this because I think Ryder could be broader and be more of a battle rapper here, uh, and and you know Mike P is really good. Um, I don't think Mike P's that great when it comes to an all-around sense. I think he's good at what he does, and he's going to need a little more for broader audience in this kind of format where it's condensed like that. I think Ryder can get a little bit more out, and I think some of the stuff Mike P might say to him is going to be like, "Who cares?" type of shit. You know, so what? You know, I want to see battle. Like I want to see some back and forth punchlines. Ryder can deliver that. I'm actually taking Ryder to win this.
So you going with the upset on 2 back-to-back battles, man?
Yeah, I could
Right?
be wrong, but I'm not counting Ryder out. I'm not. I think I think he has a potential. He's a smart kid. I mean,
Yeah.
not kid because he's not a kid. He just looks young, but he's a smart cat, and I think he can do well. He can do really well. I think Mike P's better off on those bigger matches that he has time to really cook something up for, and something an opponent where he has more history and people are more invested in that history and backstory that uh, he can feed off that, you know, and that gives him the momentum to say what he has to say.
What's next?
Young Cannon versus Bill Collector.
And this is the final battle on the whole thing, right? Now this was supposed to be B Magic,
Right.
and I don't know if there's different stories out there, but one of the main things that I saw on social media was people saying that Magic backed out because of the 2-week intervals, and you know, it just wasn't gonna sit with his schedule. Um, I don't know. I don't know what was the reason. I hope that everything's fine for him health wise and everything. I am disappointed because I wanted to see. I think B Magic and Bill Collector would have had a hell of a battle, and I think that B Magic style to me would have lent itself better for the overall tournament. And you know, I'm a big fan of them guys who punch back to back like Av, E Ness, you know, so on and so forth. But they put an absolute fucking killer in this ring, and a killer who does not get respect. Listen, if there's a list of people who don't get respect in this fucking battle rap culture, YK's in the top 3 of guys who don't get the respect he fucking deserves. YK is dangerous no matter where you fucking put this dude, man. He's just an incredible talent. Bill Collector, you have to give him his respect for what he's done in these last 2 years. Build that fucking fan base, entertain the shit out you while having some of the most greatest moments and memorable moments in battle rap in these last 2 years. With that being said, as much as a fan of I am and enjoying a Bill Collector battle because he can captivate the room, I'm going with YK. I'm going 2-1 YK because he's an absolute savage, man. And if we're going bar for bar, I just don't see how Bill Collector will be able to keep up with him because Bill Collector's thing is about entertaining, right? And not that he doesn't have bars, but he doesn't rely on bars. He relies on everything else, his charisma, all of that shit. In this sense, can Bill Collector win this battle because he can captivate the attention of judges? Fuck yeah. But again, if they're sticking to this time limit, I just don't see how he's able to do that kind of stuff to win all 3 rounds against YK with that time limit. I just don't see it because Bill Collector's about, again, captivating the room and going off the crowd. He feeds off that energy. He really does. So I just don't see how he's going to last up there with YK. I'm going to go 2-1 YK. Possibly Gentleman's 30.
I completely agree with you. I think YK, this tournament is made for him. This style, this format is made for him, which is why I think he's a better choice than B Magic. Although B Magic is this would be like his kind of format. He steps out into the Glue Easy situation where he needs more prep time, and this tournament we would prefer to see some choice from B Magic with some upsets. I don't think he would have go to distance in continuing 2-3 battles, or even made it to the tournament to the end without a step or a choke. It was just, it's one of those things where it's inevitable, like it's gonna happen. But I'm glad that Magic is out because it's smart for him. He would have surely done that, and let's be real, we don't want to see that shit in this tournament. We want people up there that can give us 3 rounds, finish it off. Caffeine in the mix. We want good performances. It don't gotta be too crazy, but it has to be clean, and you got to be able to get through your shit. And
That's a big piece, man. Especially when it comes to a lot of these guys that we normally see them. It takes them that time. This is just not one of them scenarios where this is battle rap. Anything can happen at any time. But in terms of if something favors you, or some, like you said, this is just not that. You got to get through. You got to get through your. You got to get through your rhymes, your rounds. You got to get through that cleanly, and you got to get your point across in that time limit. And it has to be enough to impress the judges and the people at home. Number one, it's no easy task. Salute to all these guys who agreed to doing the tournament. I respect judged battles. Like I have, even for most of the losers, depending on how you lose, if you put up a valiant fight, I just respect the hell out of that, because it takes some guts to sit there and say, especially in this era, to say, yo, I'm doing this judge fucking battle. It's a definitive winner or loser, and you don't know. There's not a clear. All judges don't think the same. Bottom line, it's not like yo, there's 3 categories and they can only vote on these 3 You know what I'm saying? So I agree with you, man. Getting through that material and making that lasting impression, within a 2-minute thing, man, it's not easy.
Yeah, I think Young Cannon can compact. He's a spitfire rapper. He just gets tons of material out in a short amount of time. He can prep very fast. He's just kind of been known to be able to dish them out like that, dish battles out, take multiple battles, a few battles within a month and get them all clean. And some of his stuff may not have depth to it, but he's still able to fucking do it, man, and get through it and show out. There's not many Young Cannon battles where I think he didn't show up to the occasion. He just comes. He's one of those consistent guys. Bill Collector is going to be more hit or miss with this. If he wants to be entertaining, he better fucking hit, because battling Young Cannon, if you come whack or subpar, Cannon is going to steamroll you. That's just the facts.
Absolute facts. Overall picture right now in the first round. Like I said, I think that Steams versus Wavy has the potential to have one of the 2 top battles. Other than that, I'm trying to really think about it. I think that Loso and None can have a hell of a battle. But I still think that Steams and Wavy has the opportunity to have the battle of the night. What is your opinion on who you think could have battle of the night?
I'm going Loso versus Nun Nun.
Okay.
That battle is going to surprise. They they just both had the ability. I believe in Nun Nun. I think he can really show out here and show what we've been missing as a culture to to not have him around. I think that's how much he's improved and how much he's taking things into consideration and adapting to made the changes that were part of his downfall. So another one is Reaper versus Danny. I think that's going to be a very good battle because it's a mirror match. Danny's one of my favorites, so I just like the style and delivery and the originality that comes from it. And I think Reaper can match that. So those two are my top picks for battles.
So if you had to pick who you thought could have the best performance of this first round, who would you go with?
I'm still going Danny. I think he's making it serious, and I salute these guys for I salute everybody for going about this tournament style because it's not easy, especially with the prep time and taking these back-to-back battles like this. But I salute the top tiers as well for joining the mix and going up against these lower tier guys and giving them the opportunity to get looks and getting a fair shot one-to-one with them to see on who's going to advance on a judge battle. I know they're going after their paper. This is why they joined the battle in the first place. To check on the line at the end of it. So I think we're going to see more participation in this as time goes if this continues, because of the check. I don't think it has to do with the culture. I think it's the check. With caffeine involved, and this is politics, of course. But we just recently heard that the URL is not really in charge of handling the money as far as what the battlers are getting paid for this. This is what I've heard, and it's more of a caffeine thing, whatever they decide to do it, and it's kind of off of URL's hands. So in that case, these battlers may not always get what they're asking for. Who knows? I don't know the details of it, but for sure of what you're getting in this tournament. You know what the check is at the end of it. So if you can't always agree with what your asking price for taking battles, at least there is a check at the end of this one, and that's something to look forward to.
I don't know. Maybe you've heard about. I don't know, but you know how the first tournament, the winner got a spot on Gnome. Does the winner here get a spot on Summer Madness or no?
I haven't heard anything about that. I have no idea.
Yeah. Well, the only thing that I've been saying it throughout this whole tournament, when it comes to all these guys, I know it's not easy, but you gotta put yourself in the mind frame that your rounds have to be worth $75,000. The tournament is worth $25,000. I just think that every round that you put out, you should be trying to craft a $25,000 round. And I think that if you can put yourself in that mind frame, I'm not saying that is realistic, but if you put yourself in that mind frame, I think you put yourself in the best situation to possibly win every round, because every round it matters. It's a tournament. So I think every time that these guys show up, I know it's not easy to do all this, having a personal life with everything that's going on, and be able to prep these fucking glamorous rounds every 2 weeks. But that is what you signed up for. And if you want your best shot at that $25K, then show up with $75,000 worth of rounds every battle. Excuse me.
Yeah, it's tough. I love the format. I'm glad this is going on. I think this is something that we've needed for quite a while.
Yes.
I'm sure we've talked about this. We want to see these brackets and tournaments back.
Yes.
competitiveness and clear wins and losses and more assurance on stats. That's always good.
Yeah, I think it was important to get the competitive element back in battle rap. I think we definitely got in a space, especially when it comes to the big name guys, where it's almost like, yo, you get what I give you, and that's it type shit. You know what I'm saying? And I hate it, but to have that competitive spirit back into battle rap is something. Remember, these are fucking battles. It's a battle. You should have. I should feel like you give a fuck up there, because you should be trying to win, not just showing up to get paid. You know what I'm saying? But in these situations, that's what you got to show up doing, trying to win. And I just love it. I love the competitive part of it.
Yeah. Good luck to all these guys, man. I hope they do well. I hope the judges are some that we can all kind of agree on. If we don't, it is what it is. I'm not mad either way.
Yeah.
I don't go off tangents and speaking about the judges. It's not an easy thing to do. And if they asked me to fucking judge, I probably wouldn't take it. I wouldn't like to be put in that position, because I might not be able to judge a battle off one watch. It might be hard, and I might get it wrong. I can openly admit to that. I might get it wrong. I might have a completely different opinion on the second watch. I might have missed some shit, I don't know. So
I'll be honest. I would much rather be a judge for that first tournament than the second one.
yeah,
For real.
it could be
I think
clear cut. This tournament could be a lot more clear cut, where you don't really have to have that much critical analysis and
I don't think it's gonna play out that way, man.
I don't know.
I don't think it's gonna play out that. I think it's gonna be rougher to judge these battles than it would have been for that first tournament, man. I think it's especially when we get past this first round. Look at the potential matchups. You know what I'm saying? Look at the potential matchups for what could be in this second round. If I'm going, this list I got here is just the people who I think is going to win the first round. So look on this right side of the bracket. If we're going off my prediction, then the next round we'll see Mike P versus YK. The next round we'll see Loso versus Thieves. The next round we'll see EK versus the Saga. The next one will be Danny versus Franchise. Would you rather judge that shit or that last tournament?
Well, in retrospect, you can say that, but you don't know what the outcome's going to be, so you can't really say.
That's a fact. That's you're right. You're right. Like me personally,
I didn't want to be the judge of any of it. I in the comfort of my home, watch the battles, and have my own fucking opinion, than be hated by 50% of you motherfuckers that say I got it wrong and that I'm fucking smoking crack because of my decision. It is what it is. It's like,
yeah, it is,
bro. Like a bunch of savages out there that will chastise you for your opinion, and that's not an easy thing to.
Yeah, but again, Mitchell, I don't think people were necessarily killing for the outcome. That I can remember, it probably was like 2 battles that people were mad about the outcome. It's more about the reasoning. That's what I really see people upset about, is the reason you chose. But again, you're right. You can't satisfy everybody, and all you can do is judge the way that you like to judge battles. I do think there are people more qualified to judge, though. That I would say. But again, I just hope that guys show up and really, fight for that money. Because as a supporter, that's what I'm tuning in for. The competition, just feeling like people give a fuck again. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm tuning in for personally. That's what I want to see throughout this whole tournament. I want you to show up, even if you end up choking. I want to see that it fucking bothers you that you choke. You know what I'm saying? I don't want you to just be like, yo, I choked, I stumbled out of Jersey, fuck out of here. There's always next round. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean round is like if somebody chokes in the first round and then shrug it off like, it's all right, there's always a second round. You know what I mean? Like, no, I want to see you frustrated when if you fucking choke in that first round. Try to get it back. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me know you want to fucking fight. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like I said, either way, that's what I'm really looking forward to.
And I'm hoping for the purse to go up higher than the 25K and get more top tiers participating, have an all top tier bracket.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Okay, so I agree with you, but I wouldn't want to see that. And this is why. I feel like URL tends to put these things together that might shed a little more light on the other guys. And then it becomes something that people are magnetized to, and now everybody wants to do it, and now they ruin the essence of what that was.
Understandable.
So if you're gonna give me a fucking tournament of number top tier guys, and they know that somebody could win way more, let's say 50,000, are we still gonna see that same hunger, knowing that these guys are gonna feel like they're gonna book me for the next card any fucking way?
Yeah, I guess you can have two versions of it, but it still goes back to the point where you're saying it will dilute the concept and shed light off the lower tier version of it. So.
Yeah, I think it would take attention off of them, and I don't think the hunger will be the same. I just don't. Unless you're saying you're gonna put a ridiculous fucking purse up there, you know what I'm saying? Which I don't see that happening. But let's say you double this. Let's say you put in a $50,000 bag, hoping that the top tier guys will want to do it. Are you still gonna get $150,000 performances? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not. I don't think you're gonna get that. I think you're gonna get guys who are gonna say, all right, if I lose, it's not that big of a deal because I'm on the next card any fucking way. You can't tell me a none ain't going in there with the thought process that this might not be, you might not ever see him on URL again if this don't go well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like a franchise, a Mike P who's trying to go carry things higher and higher after being unknown. You don't think he's still in there knowing that he got to give a dope performance, or they might not continue to elevate him? You understand what I'm saying? Now, picture you got a whole tournament with Goods, Tay-Rock, fucking Charlie Clips, so on and so forth. Do you think you're still going to get that same hunger when they already know you're booking them next? They might even be locked in for battles already. You know what I'm saying? So, again, I'm not saying that we couldn't get a dope tournament with top tiers. I just say, yo, leaders, for the most part, of course, you would love to see one or two top tiers, but I don't want to see a whole tournament of it because I just don't think it's going to be taken that serious. Right. When these other guys, I think, will take it.
That said, I appreciate very much the bigger names being sprinkled and participating in this tournament as is. I really dig that. I'm surprised, and I
was surprised. I was surprised and ecstatic. I was like, yo, hyped. I was fucking hyped because you want to see that, man. You want guys. Battle rap was about really beating your opponent and wanting to be the best. You know what I'm saying? And whether you are or you're not is a whole different thing. But at the end of the day, this is it. If there's a road to it, this is it. Tournament, judged, definitive answer.
Yep, facts plus tax.
All right, my brother. I think I went way past the time I was supposed to. Yes, I sure the fuck did. I definitely got to roll. Salute to everybody supporting us. Thank you all for your time. Thank you for rocking with us this long. And hopefully the tournament is Saturday, so I don't know, maybe we could get together the following days to, kind of recap the situation and then give you predictions to the next round.
Yes, sir.
So let's see what's up. Salute to everybody. My brother Victor Well, thank you very much. Enjoy your day, man.
So, better on.